What's going on, and welcome to another edition of The Funniest Here with Dominique and friends. I got my good friend over here, Gerard Guillory. Very funny, brother. Like I tell you every week, if they ain't funny, they ain't coming up on here. That ain't how we do things at The Funniest Here with Dominique and friends. Gerard, introduce yourself to these people. Let these people know how they know you.
First off, I'm glad to be here at Dominique and Friends, and I want to introduce myself. I am and friends.
That's right.
I'm Gerard Guillory, associated with all things funny. You know that because I'm sitting next to the Queen, and whom, by the way, I was talking to my mom on the way here. I forget how long we've known each other. We go back time. For a very, very long time. And I think it's significant. You know, a lot of times while we're walking through life, you forget. And, of course, you can't mark everything every day. It doesn't mess like going to your high school reunion when you live across the street from the school. Like, you know, it never gets too far away from you. But yeah, when you can back off and assess and be like, wait a minute, that wasn't even last decade. That was, wait a minute.
2 decades ago.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we're talking about growing up together in the game. And so
absolutely. Really,
really pleased for my sister and everything she got going on. And I'm glad to participate whenever she asks.
I'm glad you came through because we always have a funky good time. Boom, boom.
We're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna take you high.
We don't own the rights to this music. You know what I mean? You gotta say that. I don't want nobody coming at me talking about we think we James Brown.
Right.
No, we don't. We do not own the rights to this music. So look, Gerard, you been looking at basketball. What's going on?
I have been watching
the playoffs.
I'm really focused on my team. You know, everybody knows I started doing comedy in Atlanta. I graduated high school. I went to Morehouse and all of that. And so I rep Atlanta. I really, really do. But I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And since I was a little dude, when I was a young dude, was Phi Slamma Jamma when Clyde and Akeem Olajuwon and all those guys.
He telling ages now.
I said I was a little bitty dude.
Akeem the Dream. He telling ages now out here.
And they were in college, so, you know, we were little bitties, but and I got a chance to meet Akeem when I was a little dude, so I've been a diehard Suns Rockets fan the whole time, so I'm really pleased with what's going on with my squad. But it's a weird thing. There's a lot of really good players in the NBA.
They should be.
They should be.
They should be. That's why they the NBA. They should. Some of them. Some of them squeaked in.
Right.
Because some of them be some fraud.
Right. But you know how our business goes, that you don't have to be great, but you could be popular and people could like you.
That's true.
But in sports,
you don't have to be. Yeah, sports is changing to me too, because you used to have to really, really be good. Something now that you don't have to really, really be good. You can be okay, but the whole game has changed to me anyway.
Yes.
Like I like you said, I'm from the old school of basketball, so I like when they play defense.
Right.
I like start tough defense.
Right.
I like you to get scrappy, go after it, and shut some things down. They don't do a whole lot of too much defense like that.
And it's like that in both leagues, right? Like in the NFL. We want to increase scoring, but it's like this in life. You know, if
PlayStation scores.
They play
133 to 115. Really?
68 to 69 at halftime.
Come on. That reeks of no defense being played. Even though I love the game, don't get me wrong, but they still not playing no defense.
And everybody wants to see, because the defense you're talking about is not where the score of the game is 56 to...
No.
So it's about...
I want to see old school defense. I want to see a point guard come down the floor, and I want to see a Gary Payton-esque on the other side of the ball. That glove. I want to see some glove kind of defense.
Right.
I like those kind of games. They make it more competitive.
And then the great offensive player who could, because remember, the great offense beats great defense. So you can do everything you can. That's what I'd like to see. I don't want to see, you know, traveling, man, it hurts my heart. I just told you I'm a great Rocket fan, so everybody, you understand. I appreciate what James Harden.
You got one of the biggest travelers in the whole game on your squad.
But here's the thing: if the league allows it to happen, he instituted it.
He did
first,
he
and
did.
LeBron. Remember when LeBron was doing it first? They were calling it a crab step.
Yeah.
Then it became a jump step. But think about
Then
it.
it's a Euro step now, right?
It's called a Euro step. But think about what they're saying is that's an extra step. If you're playing defense and you're thinking about the rules, when that man picks the ball up, he can only take 2 steps. That means I have time to block the shot or get over there and do it. But if he takes another step, dude, I look like I play at the YMCA.
Right. I mean, like,
on the purple team. It looks like
it's the Euro step.
The Euro step, but it's like
why do we have the Euro step?
Because
I don't get why we even have the Euro step.
I want to know why only European countries are competitive in basketball. I was talking to them.
Their standard is still high. Like, another thing I don't like about it now is the IQ. The basketball IQ to me is at an all-time low. What the hell? You running down the court. You don't see none of your teammates. You see the opposing team, 3 of their guys.
No numbers.
No numbers. Why are you going to the basket? That's what you do on PlayStation.
It's even foolish there.
Yeah.
Pull it out and set it up.
But
run
at
number
least
2.
on PlayStation, you run the risk of making it.
Right.
You'll run up there and dunk it.
Right.
Do some mysterious dunk, throw the ball in the audience, the fans throw it back. You catch it and dunk it. Well, it should be like that on the damn...
In a cartoon, something that's not real.
On the damn game.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but I don't get the IQ.
And I don't
understand the IQ. I'm like, slow down.
It's the same thing for me with football, where 100% of the players in either league grew up playing very real lifelike video games. So if in the 80s when we were playing 8-on-8 or whatever Atari had and you didn't call a timeout or you didn't do these things, it didn't matter because we weren't really playing real football. If you playing Madden or any of these other games or Live or 2K, that's spitting image. And if you play that, you grew up really with a coach's mindset.
See, I think football is a little different. I think they headed there. But one thing about football is you'll get your neck taking out the socket out there. You know what I'm saying? You get hurt real bad out there, the way they out there hitting this stuff. But I see what you're saying.
Phenomenon about neck sockets getting torn up. Somebody should come up with a neck socket
But
brace.
I see where you headed with that, Gerard.
You coaching.
I definitely feel what
you're
saying.
11 years old. You know you got 2 timeouts. You understand with the time and possession, it's 3rd and 1. It's 5th. It's 4th and 1. You understand time and possession. What we need to do as a time. Then you get all the way to the pros and you call a timeout when you don't have one. You don't know what the overtime rules are. Like, how is that when you've been coaching since you plugged in your first video game? It was not the truth for us. We just watch football. Whatever Howard Cosell. I don't mean to make myself 1,000 years old. We might have to scratch all the age references.
He telling the truth.
Well, I'm saying the day they got face masks, I was not around. I just want to make sure y'all.
No, he was there.
Leather helmets.
He was there.
Yeah, I was a little bitty boy. It was a
little bitty boy.
It was a 10.
But he was there. He was there.
It was the biggest TV they had. They had the 10-inch out there at the time. Everybody was excited.
Right.
Came over to the house.
Right.
But that's my thing. Is like, how do you not understand situational when? Remember, 100% of the players in the NBA now, they didn't go play at Jones or Jefferson or Central High. They went to college prep basketball private schools.
Archbishop somebody.
Country Days.
Yeah,
Modern Day.
Georgetown Prep.
They
whatever
went to
those
Tampa
schools.
Prep. Yeah, they went to straight Jesuit.
Mm-hmm.
Where did LeBron go? I forget what the name, Bethel or whatever.
Something.
Yeah, you
prestigious schools.
Bust across town. You and the other basketball players are only black kids there. You go play at Kentucky one year and you make it to the league, but you've been on big time basketball all of this time.
Forever.
AAU, you
forever. Since somebody noticed in you had the goods.
Come on.
And that starts young.
Remember, they got
because my nephew's a football player, so by the time my nephew got 8, we could clearly see that
he's going to the league.
It was something there. That this little boy was special.
Yes.
And if you keep on sewing into him and keep working with him, it's going to something.
He is going good.
Shout out to my nephew headed to the University of Buffalo. Let's go.
Shout out.
Am I doing it right, nephew? Let me see. He told me how to do it. Is that right?
Well, let's make sure, nephew. I got to
dip it in right. If I'm not doing it right, let me know.
Because Crenshaw is right there.
I know. So I'm trying to do it right. This for horns, though. This ain't for Crenshaw. Love the Crenshaw, but this one ain't for y'all.
We just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, it ain't. I ain't throwing up no
We do
I'm
not
from
own the
D-
rights
we
to
do not-
James Brown, and this is
decide.
about the University of Buffalo.
We
not
do not
Texas.
own the right to throw signs because I ain't in no gang. I'm from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine asked me that, what gang you like out there? I was like, I hadn't really thought about it at all.
They like teams.
Yeah, I was like, no, I hadn't really thought about a gang, but when I thought about it, I was like, most of the guys I do know, they Crips, so I guess I like the Crips.
Right. Well, my dad loved the Vice Lords, and
Right.
so I didn't have a choice.
I don't know. I ain't really pick a side. I ain't know if you was not affiliated. I ain't even know you fucking picked.
We watched the Junior Warlords growing up.
Yeah.
After Michael got
I was
jumped
like,
in.
no, I ain't picked no side.
Yeah, they're not teams. They not.
No, I don't think it worked like that.
Yeah, what gang do you like?
Yeah, I was like, no,
I try to stay as far away from.
I don't do
all
that.
of it.
I
Yeah.
respect it, but
Right.
I'm from DC. It don't have nothing to do with me.
Man.
But yeah, so I don't like the basketball like you. I don't like, it just.
I don't like all the talking. And you hear the guys saying it all the time, but I want everybody, every one of your listeners, everybody in this room, think about one example of an NBA referee who listened to all of the jaw jacking and say, you know what?
Let me reverse this call.
He
was right.
That
There wasn't no foul.
Yeah, that never happens. Here's my big thing, though. With, like I said, as a Rocket fan, I accept everything they allow James Harden to do. The NBA is a league of stars, right? Every player has every team has a player that could get you to go to Foot Locker or to Taco Bell or to BVA Bank or whatever. They all have a star. And then as you get closer, just pay attention to this. James Harden has led the league in scoring and assist and free throws the last 5 years. When he gets to the playoffs, they don't call that. Right? They don't call. He doesn't go to the line as much. And that statistic allows them to say that he's less aggressive in the play. But watch this. And I know you know this from another era. And those of y'all who are too young to have seen it firsthand, go back and watch 30 for 30, the Bad Boys Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, that's ESPN 30 for 30.
So you hear this all the time in the playoffs. That's just a playoff foul. That's a playoff foul, which is a much harder foul that does not get you ejected. But that phrase comes from an era where you could punch somebody in the face and not be ejected.
Right.
So they were really playing
I
prison.
really miss those days.
That's what you were talking
I don't
about.
like all these damn flagrant ones and twos.
Come on.
And what
We gotta go look at it.
You gotta go look at it. What are you doing?
And if he acts like his knee hurt, and again, remember, every NBA player, no matter what the foul was, he always act like there was a sniper in the audience, like he really got shot.
Yeah.
So he does the whole thing where he acts hurt.
Why is there no such thing as a hard foul? I'm going to give you an analogy why I think it's no such thing as a hard foul. I don't think it's a such thing as a hard foul anymore. Because if you go back in the day of basketball, these players, like if you look at Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, players came out of college, they had at least played 3 years in college.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But now they coming out in 1 year. So most of them, they don't even have a man build the way they should. You know what I'm saying? They not, so you can't let them foul hard because you hurt half of these. They small. They bodies not big.
Frail.
They frail. So you'll hurt most of these guys if you let them take a Bill Laimbeer foul. It's gonna be a problem.
He's at 19 years old. He's 6'7", but his body is half filled still at this moment with school lunch.
Yeah, for real, Gerard.
He hadn't eaten enough steak in his life. Yeah, that's school lunch.
You see it for yourself, though. They thin, and it take years for them to bulk up. But as opposed to them using those 3 years in school, they would be bigger when they got there.
Have their man body.
They have more
like
of a man body.
Every now and again, like a LeBron had at 17 or 16 or whatever. Yeah,
and he even had to get bigger.
He had to put some weight on.
But he wasn't frail when he got there.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He had more, I guess you call it girth or muscle or whatever you want to call it. He had more of that, but still, it's just like weird.
But I get, though, especially when you come from that era, and those of you who are basketball fans who've not seen, you have to watch that documentary. Larry Bird is shooting a free throw. Robert Parrish and Bill Laimbeer are jaw-jacking on the free throw on the box. Robert Parrish punches Bill Laimbeer in the face.
Come on now.
He punches him in the face. They break up the skirmish. Larry Bird shoots another free throw, and everybody goes down the thing. So if that's the kind of foul that you can have in a regular season, yeah, we're going to be playing sing-sing. We're going to be playing penitentiary ball when it comes to the play. Isaiah Thomas, the original Isaiah Thomas, he stayed on his back. You can't come in here. It's like doing a layup in the jail movie. You can't come in and do no layup in prison.
No.
You better work on your three-point shot. But he would come in and they would foul him really hard. And so now we understand the difference between a regular season foul and a playoff foul. But you can't have playoff fouls in an era where if anybody's baby toe crosses the line, they're suspended.
Yeah, I don't
If two
like
dudes
that.
get to shoving, we got to go look at the 15 minutes to look at the tape.
See, I mean, it's just like it's soft basketball, and I don't understand why it's so soft.
But they still try to call playoffs differently, and it's like you can't. Your regular season is too different.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And, people that say, well, that was the old game. But the new game, what you mean when you say the old game? It's the game. It's a physical game. You know what I mean?
But remember, I
don't even like that it's no big man no more.
See,
how you got basketball without the damn big man?
Look, he's there. He's just way over there shooting threes.
He just way out there.
7-footer is out there.
They're shooting 3
with
pointers.
no post moves.
Nope, not a damn
with
one.
With no post move.
With no post move.
You get Patrick
Don't
Beverly
almost know how to post you up and box you down.
Yeah.
The player that learn how to post you up and box you down, if you got a big man, son, give him some low post moves and he will dominate the NBA. Teach him how to play in the box. Teach him how to use his weight. He'll be the best thing since sliced bread in the NBA.
But the problem with that is no matter what team he's on, if he can't get his shot off, remember, you can imagine with that, you're going to use the better part of your shot clock. And then that other team is going to take that ball out and go straight down and shoot a three. And after 3 series of that, you are...
And everybody's shooting threes.
Everybody's shooting
it's
threes.
It's just a 3-point contest.
And nobody has a thing where they got to ask like coach.
The coach can't even tell them.
Everybody got a green light.
Yeah, can y'all stop shooting threes because they not fucking falling?
Right.
Do you notice the last 10 threes you put up was bricks?
Right. Can
somebody shoot a 10-foot? What happened to the mid-range game?
The European.
If you got a mid-range game, you'll hurt them too.
Come on.
If you quick and you can get your own shot, get in that inside the elbow, kill them.
But look, if you look at the Rockets, the way D'Antoni and them play, it's almost like when you pull up a mid-range, everybody looks at, if the clock is not running down, if it's not Chris Paul like having to hurry up and shoot a shot or James Harden having to push that, everybody's like, we don't do 2 points here. Like, you'll mess around and get traded and shoot. But I made them. Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah.
we do threes.
Everybody want to be Steph Curry.
Everybody. Which, by the way, did you see his brother?
Yeah, he nice. But their father was a pure. People don't talk about Dale Curry. I'm not surprised that they can shoot like that, the Curry brothers, because their father could flat out do it.
He was one of the greatest shooters ever.
Yes. So that doesn't surprise me.
It's hard to talk about Dale without talking about their beautiful mother. I think she's so dope, man. I really appreciate it. As a matter of fact, it's the only reason why I brought up the Curry family.
Right, because I never really paid her any attention like that.
She's the only reason.
I mean, I know she's supporting all that, but I don't be looking at her saying, the mother.
I think she's beautiful physically, but the mere fact that she's there all the time. Like,
I love her support.
Remember, Steph comes out of nowhere. Steph comes from Davidson, and the reason why we know is because he killed the tournament. He shot threes, and every time, you know how the sports, they need an extra story. So every time he scores a basket, she goes crazy, and they show her. And so not last night, what night was that they blew the game? And we don't have to go into dates because I know this made the airing. But
just the other night when Lou Williams put that thing on,
man,
sweet Lou, sweet Lou. You gotta give Lou his love. Dude. But see, he an old school basketball player. He hit a shot wherever he got one. He don't care if it's in the elbow. He don't care if it's 3. He don't care if it's a floater. That boy a problem right
Lou
there.
Williams is such an issue that he led all scorers in that game, and he is the 6th man.
And he the 6th man. He's a problem.
And they're playing against 3-time champions and arguably the greatest shooter ever, and then the second best player in the league.
Fat Boy went down for the Warriors.
He
I know he's not fat, but I called him Marcus cousin Fat Boy, because he a little girthy. He in good shape here, but in New Orleans, we was eating a little more when he was down with the
New Orleans will do that to you. Big shouts out.
I said, look at Fat Boy. They can't even do a regular play without getting his leg hurt.
And he's fat, especially if you see him standing next to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's not really fat though. Don't get it twisted. He's very much so in shape. But I just like to see the Fat Boy Boogie.
They say I think he's scheduled to come back.
When?
I saw somebody say that.
If they make it to the finals.
No, I think is he not going to come back during the series?
No. If they make it to the finals, he should be ready.
Oh, man.
I don't know that they're going to make it to the finals.
I would like to see my squad do it.
I don't want them to win. I'm going to go and say it. Not that I'm a hater or anything. I get tired of seeing the same damn team over and over and over again. And I'd like to see different teams. They didn't already won. I mean, I want somebody else to win.
What about how it adds to their story when that happens? Like, let's go to another sport. Like, look at boxing, right? Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali. In boxing, you're always known. Your legacy is always tied to your opponent, your biggest opponent, which is why they are great boxers who came up in bad eras, like Roy Jones Jr. It's hard to talk. He kicked everybody's ass, so it's hard to. There was not his peer, but Joe Frazier is a great reason why we remember George Foreman. These are, we trade the title back and forth. I might get you 2 or 3 times, then you get me, and then we keep having to make the exchange. Not only do the Warriors go, remember, we were looking at Cleveland, Golden State for
But boxing different for me because this was a one-on-one.
No doubt, but I'm talking about your opponents, though. So it's good to lose so that next year, man, did you remember they lost to Golden State last year in 6? They got to be angry. They want to get it back. Well, we don't know that story because they make it every year. And what I keep noticing, it's the same thing I was talking about, those bad calls for Harden. And the reason why I brought up all the star players is because they'll let every player in the league be a star during the regular season, and you could start seeing systematically how they're chipping it down, which is how you knew from the beginning of last season to the first day of the finals that you were getting ready to look at LeBron and Steph Curry play again. Mm-hmm. Y'all, it's like, dude, they're the greatest team on planet. What's all the help for? What is all the help?
I think that the Rockets can get past the Warriors if the Rockets can stay there mentally. Yeah. If they can take the mental beat up, I think they'll be okay. That's one of the biggest things to me. If they could take the mental beat up, I think the X factor is what's PJ's last name?
PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker.
Yes.
PJ Tucker has to play well.
Yes.
If he consistently plays well the way that he's playing, I think that Houston will get out of, barring injury for anybody.
See, that's what I was going to say.
Barring injury, I think that Houston will get out of
the West.
The West.
Remember last year, Chris Paul.
And I think that because DeMarcus Cousins gone, he out. Mm-hmm. And Capella, he down there dominating. He's beasting down there.
Beasting.
You know what I'm saying? I think that you can agitate and get up into Kevin Durant. PJ Tucker showing that.
Pat Beverly.
Pat Beverly.
I hated to get rid of. That was our dude. Him and Montrez.
But he's showing that.
Are you kidding me?
He playing that get up in him old school defense. Dude. Shout out to Patrick Beverly. He playing that defense. He getting up in him, getting up under him. You know what I'm saying?
I think he said something about his mama. It's something crazy.
Kevin Durant a great player. Don't get me wrong, but he gonna do what he gonna do. But I think you need some of that kind of scrappiness.
You have to.
You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, he gonna do, even when people defend him, he does still score. You know what I'm saying?
His handles, and the second you think he's just going to pull threes, he's got a crazy drive to the basket, which, by the way, is very consistent with my dude. And I know it's not the same. Don't get me wrong, but Eric Gordon is a problem like that.
Not to me so much because he hasn't been consistent to me.
His shot had you when he's been a little streaky.
He been streaky, so that presents a problem going forward in the playoffs. He get real streaky. He too streaky for me. But he got to be a little more consistent.
But what he can do,
that's why I said P.J. Tucker is the X factor.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Eric Gordon, you don't know if he gonna show up.
But what he does do is if that shot doesn't fall 2 or 3 times. He's got a really nice drive to the basket. The same thing, he can rock you to sleep thinking that he's going to continue to pull
But when that shot ain't falling, he's not the same player to me.
Very true. It changes the drive to the basket. Yeah.
That's another thing about this era. If you're shotting, it's okay. Keep playing.
Yeah.
Do different stuff.
Get defense. Hands up.
Hands up. Get pumped. You know what I mean?
Say something about his mama.
Steph Curry, he's hard to guard because they don't have players that's able to run with him.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is in the NBA at the highest level. When you're at the highest level an athlete can be, why is not players on every team that can run with him? Because he does not stop moving.
He does
I
not.
don't know why they can't, why it's not players conditioned enough to run with him. I don't get that part either.
Well,
if this what you say you do, though.
Right.
And this what you getting paid to do, why you not able to?
How are you not prepared? Especially when the bar has been set.
You know he run.
You know he run.
It's got to be something you can do in the summer to say, I got to be the run with Shorty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why can't, what is that about?
Yeah, my thought is it would be about guys who are just really glad to be in the league.
Smoking blunts. Kicking it, spending money.
At the dealership. You
buying jewelry,
tricking.
Okay, that's all.
You are
that's what I was wondering.
You are trying to, and I hate to say,
why he working on being able to nonstop fucking run the whole game,
playing with his baby and his committed relationship.
Yeah, so why he all summer long training and doing whatever he's doing because he never stops running. You can check it out tonight.
Right.
He's going to continue to run.
He doesn't stop.
He does not
He doesn't stop. He's held without the ball. Yeah. And the second he gets that thing in his hand, no matter where he is on the floor, he could drop
So why
thing.
you winded and why you can't chase
That's what I don't get.
You just named it, though. You just called it out.
The foolishness, the fuckery.
Yeah, not working hard in the off season.
Not working hard in the off season.
You can see the difference. Not working hard in the off season.
I always think about like if you see in football a Hail Mary, not a Hail Mary, but a super long pass, and you see the receivers running, he's looking at the ball. I always think about like capturing that and doing the slow motion, like what's really going through that receiver's head, and it's that, man, I was holding out in training camp. I was fucking around. We were at Magic City last night.
Eating them wings.
Yeah, man, I shouldn't have drank all that. I should have had a light beer.
Yeah, so.
You're just thinking about all the things you did not do, but ultimately it's catching the ball. You're a basketball player. You should be prepared.
Because even it was always players that in any era of basketball that even if the player was great, Michael Jordan in this play, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, you name it, it was always a player on the team that, great players, they going to score and they going to do what they going to do. But it was always a player on the team that could get up in him and get up on. And someone was exceptional. When they play, certain team can get up underneath them and make them work hard. I don't think the Warriors have to work hard enough, Gerard, on the other end of the basketball.
How about that?
You're not making them work. Make them work.
Make him, there should be some frustration fouls. There should be some turnovers. He should dribble the ball off his foot every now and again, trying to,
Make it work. But they don't even be looking like they sweating sometimes.
You would think, too, right, that the best team, they move because they're loaded, right? They got to be like traveling with the Beatles or whatever, right? That everywhere they go, the stadiums are going to be full and you're going to get the best shot from your opponent. That's the way it should be. But you could tell that there are some people who wilt like, we got Golden State tonight, man. Shit, I'm not. We going to lose anyway. I ain't hurt my ankle.
They don't got the eye of the tiger.
How about that?
Get your ass whooping. You shaking hands after the game.
Trading jerseys.
What are you doing?
Hey, let me get a shoe.
Did you see you just got spanked?
Dude, you know the cameras are still rolling?
Yeah.
Do you know that your high school
about
coach?
Russell Westbrook, he got that eye of the tiger. He old school. He don't give a damn. He walked right to the locker room. I ain't shaking no hands, none of that.
Come on,
we
man.
lost. It ain't nothing to be happy about. We lost.
To his credit, what makes it easy for him is they don't like him. I don't know who produced that statistic, but it came out, what's today? Wednesday? That was earlier this week, wasn't it? Where they say he was the most overrated player voted by the Russell.
He overrated?
They say he's the most overrated, averaging triple-double for two.
How he overrated?
Because they say that
they just don't like his personality.
Well, they were saying that I'm sure that's what that's about.
Yeah, because how is he overrated?
But they say that he fights, like he'll take a rebound from his own teammate to make sure that he could get the triple-double, or that he'll
You don't know that shit. You don't know that.
My thing is that he didn't do that 10 times in 3 statistical columns, though.
You don't know.
He didn't steal the ball from his teammate to score 10 points. He didn't knock somebody down to make them make a basket after he passed it, right? The only way you get an assist is if I give you the ball and you score with it without dribbling. Yeah. But even to produce that statistic, we're talking about that on Skip and Shannon and on ESPN, so it's a legitimate statistic, and it's like, that's hater shit. Like, why would the NBA even allow a stat like that to come out?
Yeah, they don't like his attitude. They like the softness of the game. So he don't represent that. He represent the old school game. So I guess that's it, because it don't even make sense to even say nothing foolish like that.
And that's what we just got to talk about, in an era where you knew who the bad guy was because he did bad things on the court. I don't know if Bill Laimbeer shot a pistol in a strip club parking lot.
No. But I know he was a hell of a player. He got busy on the court.
And you knew why he was hated. You knew why he was a villain. When LeBron left and said he was going to take his talents to South Beach, they immediately put a black hat on him and he became a villain. I was like, I don't remember this. And this is wrestling. Yeah. This is not NBA shit. If you don't like him, you don't like him. If you saw him do some foul shit, that's one thing. That's why some people don't like Pat Beverly, because he's so balls to the wall. He don't stop that you might get hurt playing around.
He giving Kevin Durant side. He got a side there, but you would think he was 10 feet tall out there. He could care less.
Dude, if Pat Beverly was 10 feet tall, we'd all be in trouble.
Yeah, he could care less.
We would all foul out.
You can see this all play out tonight, the night after tonight, tomorrow night, and all that good stuff. What about Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods won the Masters again, and the president of the United States gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. I think he being funny. He trying to be funny. The Masters Medal of Freedom.
I have to look at that Medal of Freedom, because I saw a list of people who other people who had received it. So I have to, before I assess how that goes.
He being funny, man.
I think it's all funny. You know, I'm a language dude.
Being funny.
I'm a language dude. So the Masters has always bothered me, because it can be, again, those of y'all who are, if you're not 35, you probably don't even know when the first black dude got to play over there. That kind of conversation that we were locked out of, all of that kind of stuff. So whether Masters meant the greatest golfers or if this is the slave owners tournament, either way it goes, it didn't matter, because we were
presidential.
Right.
I guess Donald Trump say, even when I'm trying to do some nice shit, I can't even get a pass on that. That's because you be riding a lot of the times, dude. So you can't even. When I heard that, I was like, trying to be funny.
That's funny. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trying to be. It's a joke. It's an inside joke for him and all his little croonies. They laughing.
What other award could he give Tiger in that?
He don't need to give him no award. It's other people he can get award to besides a golfer that won the Masters. But it's not like he's never won. He just had a break. He had to get his life together.
Right.
He had to get his life together after what he went through with Elin and that whole thing, and
the painkillers, the opioids,
all
and
that.
Shit,
he just had to. He was winning for all that happened. Everything. This is not his first time in the green jacket.
No.
So he was winning. There's an article that says black people love Tiger, though he doesn't necessarily love us back. Now, what they're saying is how we root for him, and we're on the edge of our seats for Tiger, and we hoping that he win. And then when he go hug his loved ones, I mean, he ain't even a homeboy. We're not represented in the clique at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
But do you feel a way about that?
Somewhat. And the reason why I don't is because, right, we complain a lot for forever that white people don't recognize the difference in black people. That, you know, if a black dude robs a bank, they think that we're all responsible for it. But if a white kid shoots the school up, they constantly make sure to call him a lone wolf. They are never associated. Do you remember a cartoon? I hate to keep going to these old references, but it's clear that aristocrats do not associate with their family members who are hillbillies. Right? When we look at the statistics of the people who are incarcerated, that's a lot of black people. And we claim that to be our mothers, our fathers, our brothers, our cousins, and uncles and nieces. But the white people who are incarcerated are not associated whatsoever to the wealthy, to the people sitting in Beverly Hills right now. The white kids who are torn up on opioids, they are not associated whatsoever with the white people who are doing well. Right. And we have to be tied to the people who are doing crack and so forth. And we claim everybody.
We claim we so monolithic. We just judged as a monolithic people anyway.
But I'm not positive. And we get judged. Like I said, that's a question that more than one white person will ask, which suggests that they are monolithic too, because every white person believes that every black person, we all vote the same, our beliefs, our values, and all that stuff are the same, and they are not. So I'm not necessarily mad that Tiger doesn't, because, you know, I want your friends need to be who they gonna be, because you get to find out, right? No matter what your socioeconomic background is, if you do X, Y, and Z, your wife will hit you with a baseball bat. And at that moment, you need to be around your truest people.
I don't think the color matters.
No, it doesn't. When you X, Y, and Z, shit.
But I just think that it's just, I don't necessarily know that he does not like us. I don't think that his father was a black man. I don't think he necessarily doesn't like us. I just happen to think that because of our positioning in this country and who we are in this country, we're always excited for one of us to succeed.
Absolutely.
If things change, that'll change.
Right.
You know what I mean? That'll change. If this country changes things and the society we in, then the way we shouldn't have to feel that way.
Right.
We shouldn't have to jump for joy every time one of us do. We should not have been that damn happy over Barack Obama being the president.
Right.
We just shouldn't have been that overjoyed.
Right.
And we still dealing with first. You'll read something, you be like, God damn, we still on the first.
Well, here's
the first this, the first that. We still dealing with first. So it shouldn't really be that way.
But
I don't necessarily think he don't like us. He know even though he said he Caucasian, he know he black. He ain't. And then he's in the world of golf is a white culture.
Precisely.
Like, it ain't like it ain't none of us say, girl, I'm about to turn on the PGA.
Right.
Don't nobody
Right.
We don't be going to golf tournaments.
Girl, hold on one second. I got to turn this PGA down.
Really don't. Yeah. Girl, call me back. Tiger on the 57th hole.
We don't even
understand the damn game.
Not at all.
So I think we really calling foul on that, but I don't think he dislike us. It's just not his world. And you'll find a lot of big athletes, even though we watch their sports, it's still not their world. You know, it's like, even though we might watch football, if you watch a kid coming up in football or something, they're mostly around their white counterpart.
Precisely.
You know what I'm saying?
We just talked about where they went to high school.
We just talked about where they went to high school.
And let's watch this.
I don't think the dude don't
But watch
like
this.
us like
watch
that.
this right there, though, Dom. This is the difference between those guys and Tiger. Watch this. So we know you're 6'10" at 7th grade. We know you're going to go to St. such and such high school.
Well, such and such prep.
You're going to play 1 year at Kentucky, and then you're going to be in the pro. But when you get to Kentucky, remember, that's going to be more white than whatever your high school was.
Absolutely.
But here's where the tattoos and stuff come from, because you got bused from the hood to go play with these white kids. And now that you're in college, you're old enough to have a tattoo. Here come the tattoos so that you can identify with where you came from that you're probably not welcome back to.
Yeah.
Like we see it. I stay in Inglewood. It's nothing. Every year some dude gets drafted and he'd be up at the barbershop with his Bentley and all that kind of stuff. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're trying to associate with the element that gave you the pass. You didn't have to gangbang. They gave you some money for some sneakers because they knew in the 7th grade when you was 6'10", you were going to make the pros.
Absolutely.
You didn't have to participate in this.
No.
We protected you
and
from
it's
it.
no fault of there.
No, we want you. We want you to succeed. You have a path, and that's the beauty of the neighborhood. The gangsters, they would always. That's all the way back to Earl Manifold, the GOAT.
Yeah.
You go play ball, and you represent us.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening. When you get to the pros, remember, it's almost like in order to be in the NBA, you have to have an awful haircut and a lot of tattoos.
And didn't they say even when Tiger won the first Masters, didn't Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicholson or somebody say the dinner was going to be collard greens?
Fuzzy Zeller.
Fuzzy Zeller.
Yes.
And so he know he black.
Chicken and collard greens.
Chicken and collard greens.
The difference is they're both in these white worlds except one group is trying desperately to maintain their line with us. The NFL and with the tattoos and the gangster shit, and they always on some representing the gangster shit, but they don't come nowhere around it. But they rep it. Tiger doesn't rep it whatsoever. They all pass through this and play in this lily white space.
But see, he don't represent it because the culture of the sport he's playing is not like that. It's a prestigious kind of thing.
Well, that's what the NBA was at one point. When George Mikan and remember the NBA was around way, but we were globetrotters.
Right.
We weren't allowed in the league at one point.
But I feel what you're saying with that. But none of us really played golf like that, period.
Right.
At least there was a globetrotters. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
We never really played. And it's just a prestigious thing. It's just the way they carry it. They not rah with it like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Gentleman's game.
It's a gentleman's game. It's a gentleman's club.
Remember they were mad at Tiger for cursing.
Right. We don't even look at golf.
Shit.
When I see golf, I hurry up and look at the guy because I'm not looking at this. We only started when he went.
Right.
So I don't necessarily
He had to win like 5 tournaments too.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think he doesn't I don't think he doesn't like us. I think he likes us. He knows he's black. It's just the game he in. And they can let that haircut go.
How about that?
He going too far with that.
It's time to see LeBron's dude.
No, because LeBron could probably let his go too. Even though he hanging on, when he brushing and oil it, he get a little carpety when he playing. But when he brush it down and oil it look nice.
Carpety.
Yeah, it get a little rolling back, but he brush it down and oil it's fine. But Tiger, he need to just get him a baldy.
Yeah.
Or if he not going to get a baldy, he got to get it cut all the way. Like
keep it slim. Keep it down.
All the way down.
Hole in one.
That Doc Rivers. Just get that line. You know what I'm saying? Get that Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers got a strong-ass hairline.
But that's all he got.
With the wig.
He ain't got no hair. All that shit gone. But he got that line up to let you know where his hair was.
Like a zip.
A zip. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh,
so I'm just saying he has to, you know.
Right.
But I don't necessarily. I think sometimes we do pull the race card too much. That man don't necessarily not like us. He's around. And if you think about it, I don't even have no friends. I have never had no friends. Even when they saw Tiger Woods, be like, Tiger could get it. I have not had one friend to look at Tiger Woods.
He cute though.
I haven't heard. No, I ain't had none of them say, Tiger, yes. You know what I'm saying?
Like, give me some Tiger and some Wood. Nobody's never. No. Hilarious. No. Said the girls at Hooters seem to love him. He seems to be very attractive in a Hooters facility.
Yeah, I never seen nobody. You know, I didn't have none of my friends from when he first came out. Now one of them will be like, "Girl, you seen Tiger? Tiger like that." I just never. So cut it out.
You see him holding that big ass check at the end of the thing. I didn't notice how nice his arms are.
Right. To me, the black men I know, they just started playing golf the last 5 years. To me, you know what I'm saying?
You know, we do have it certainly in the comedy community. We got a lot of big golfers.
Talking business and playing golf, but that wasn't 15, 20 years ago. I wasn't hearing about nobody playing golf.
My father golf, when we were kids, we used to have a lot of fun driving a golf cart and all that kind of stuff. But that was because that is the space of business, right? It's what we talk about socialization. Mm-hmm. Like, are you going to homeschool your kids? Well, I want my kids to be socialized. Well, I was having a conversation with dudes like, well, school isn't for social. You do school at school and you do social at social. And you can see how that translates because dudes who make millions of dollars, they be talking about that $1 million while they socialize. Mm-hmm. It's not done in the office. We're going to come sign the paper. We're going to do the business of this in the office, but you're going to get all that work out on the golf course. I even heard I was listening to a Scarface interview. Somebody was doing
What did he say?
Well, it was really a Freddie Gibbs thing, but Freddie Gibbs called Scarface, and he was like, yeah, man, they talk about your song. He was like, yeah, that's the best song. He said, well, what do you think is your best verse? Scarface said, man, I'm on the motherfucking golf course. Man, I don't want to talk about no goddamn rap. And hung up. Like, golfing is more significant than having this accolade. And I get it. You need a space to unwind and so forth. Real quick, I want to say this about First.
Yes.
And I didn't think about this at all about racial thing. It was about a gender issue. Doris Burke. When Doris Burke, I will never forget it. All
Tell
day
them
long.
Who Doris Burke is.
Doris Burke, you see on ESPN, she is a
anchor, sports anchor.
A sports anchor.
Very good one at that.
Absolutely, very, very good. And a matter of fact, Doris Burke, didn't Drake say he wanted to take her out or something like that a couple of years ago?
But you'll hear, it has a very recognizable voice as well.
Yes, she sounds like
she calls a lot of the college games.
And a lot of NBA games.
And a lot of NBA games.
On the day that she was it was on the ticker all day long, but it wasn't until I heard Mike Breen's voice say it. ESPN would like for you to join us in accepting Doris Burke as the very first female play-by-play announcer. Now, I equated this to all of the first black issues, and it occurred to me, that's really interesting that ESPN wants us to congratulate Doris Burke like there was no other female who was qualified. Remember, Jane Kennedy was doing NFL back in the 70s.
Yeah, she was.
And Gail Gardner out of Tampa was doing it on ABC. So when they say ESPN wants you to give Doris Burke some love for y'all act like Doris Burke just did some extra great stuff when the fact of the matter is ESPN is the people until today who kept people like Doris Burke out. So that's why when we celebrating First, it always makes it seem like what we're really doing is celebrating Tiger or Jesse Jackson or Barack Obama or Kwame Kilpatrick or whomever
it may be.
But the fact of the matter is what we're really celebrating is that the establishment quit fucking around. Now, even though you use the language to put it on this individual, it's like the Dodger, Jackie Robinson is the first black player. Dude, Satchel Paige and them dudes were, man, it was better players than Jackie.
Yeah.
Why would you give the credence of becoming the first black player in the league to Jackie when that goes to the Dodgers because they wrote the check? But if it goes wrong, then the Dodgers have to pay for it. So you put it on the player. Fuck y'all. And we want to celebrate everybody who does something well. And we do want to celebrate these institutions who finally get up off of their ass. Yeah. But don't be trying to trick us and make us think it's the individual. God bless Doris Burke. She's very good at what she does. But it's 100 females that could do it. Don't be acting like
Jamel Hill for one.
Come on, man. We could go down the line. It's a lot of, man, you know who I really like on the NBA? Candace. Like Candace Parker.
Oh, Candace Parker. Excellent
Parker, man.
Sitting up there.
She might, to be honest with you, I don't want to hear Shaq and them talk no more, man. Candace is about the business,
She about the business and she know the game. Where's Cheryl Miller since we talking about this?
Cheryl is, I think she's coaching at it's a school in Oklahoma City, which I did not know is historically black. I didn't know that they had it, but Reggie was on one of my flights.
Cheryl Miller was my favorite player. And the only one thing I say about Cheryl Miller, if Reggie Miller, if Cheryl Miller had been a man, we wouldn't even know who her little brother was almost.
Believe that.
She been like Michael Jordan. I saw her drop 70 on him straight with my own eyes.
Did you see their 30 for 30?
No, I gotta watch. She used to tear him up though.
Look, they said that they played at the same time one day, and so Cheryl was in the car with the dad, and then they go pick Reggie up and say, "How'd you do?" He said, "I scored. I think it was. Forgive the facts here, but it was like, I scored 55. Like he thought he was putting on. He's like, "How'd you do?" She's like 100, something like that. Like,
she was putting them numbers down.
She did.
Shout out to the WNBA and women's basketball in general. We gotta show love for both sports, and them women be over there hooping. I don't care what you say. Really? They putting it down.
it's a more natural game.
Yeah, it's a more natural game.
Because of the lack of dunking.
Yeah.
That now you're going to have to get in here and earn that layup. You're going to have to really play some real basketball to get those shots off. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate Gerard Guillory coming in here. Give him your social media, Gerard, and tell him where you're going to be appearing next. And wherever my guests say they're going to be, for sure, go buy your ticket because you're going to laugh.
Please know that. So on Instagram, it's GerardGuillory. That's it. So I'm Gerard Guillory at everything. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Sunday, what is Sunday?
Easter.
Day? Oh, that is Easter. Why did I accept that date?
Easter.
Listen, you're going to have your family in town. You're going to be sick of all of the foolishness. Come bring your family out. I'll be at the Long Beach Laugh Factory on Sunday night. That is Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
I just accepting dates all willy-nilly.
Yeah, that's Sunday, Easter.
I'll be at the Savoy on the 1st of May, so I'll just be around the city. And, I'm still doing lots of warm-up on TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Dope. And something else just came through. I can't recall right now. But we trending forward.
Absolutely.
Participate, fall in.
Absolutely. Atlanta this weekend, the 19th through the 22nd, I'll be in Atlanta at the Oak Comedy Lounge. You can check me out on all my social media handles, which you should know, but I'm going to tell you again, Dominique Comedy, Comedi. I was trying to spell comedy different. I got way away from what I was trying to do. Mother's Day weekend, I'll be at the Punchline Lounge, Detroit, Michigan. Get your tickets. That's the 10th through the 12th. On the 25th, I'll be with Keith Washington and Raleigh, North Carolina. I'll tell you next week the exact place and date. Check out Tropical Cocktails. I'll be in the show coming on April the 23rd on BET, starring Lauren London and Sarunas Jackson. It's called Games People Play. You can check me out in that. And like we say every week, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in, and we holla.